sure to check out Agelessgeeks.com for your figures and collectibles. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi PSYLOCKE. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at this cool looking box. So we do get the basic style box when it comes to the Amazing Yamaguchi line, and as you can see throughout the entire box, just like with all the other figures in this line, we do get that very cool comic book stylized artwork. So we do get the one right there on the front of the box. On the top, to see a figure complex, Amazing Yamaguchi, powered by Revoltech. We do get an image of the PSYLOCKE figure there, and then on the bottom says series number 10, PSYLOCKE, X-Men, and Marvel. And then here's the bottom of the box with the barcode of blah 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 stuff nobody cares about. Then we do get a cool image of PSYLOCKE there. Then here's the top of the box looking pretty cool with that comic book artwork. Then here's the one side of the box with a couple images of the figure there. Then the other side of the box does have another nice image of the PSYLOCKE figure, and then the back of it does show a bunch of really great poses you can get the figure into along with all of her accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure, but take a closer look at my favorite chick from X-Men. And for people like myself who are curious to see what the backdrop looks like and what is on the sides of the box here, I will show you that quickly. So on this side, we do get an image of PSYLOCKE at the top. On the bottom just says X-Men. Then the other side here, we get an image of PSYLOCKE at the top, and then same thing at the bottom. And then the best part of these Amazing Yamaguchi boxes is the backdrop here. We get some beautiful artwork of PSYLOCKE all throughout it. That center one is really awesome. I love that battle damage look, and hopefully they do make a figure of PSYLOCKE like that. But anyway, let's continue on. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and I think Revoltech did a very nice job with this PSYLOCKE. This figure is definitely not going to be for everybody, just like how the Revoltech line is not for everybody. Now, before I go over anything, you know when you get these figures, the Amazing Yamaguchi figures, Revoltech always puts plastic in between the joints, like around the torso, the waist, and the thighs, and I'm really getting annoyed how they put these on. The one that was in this thigh, I think I still have plastic still stuck in there. They barely left any plastic to pull it from, and it was a pain in the ass to get off, and a lot of the plastic on their figures is a pain in the ass to get off. So they really need to do something where, like how Tamashii Nations does it, they make it easier to pull the plastic out from in between the joints. Alright, so now let's take a closer look here at the face sculpt, and I'm not the biggest fan of the face sculpts. There's really not too much detail in them. I mean, they were trying to go for an anime type look, which I think they nailed, but it's just very limited on detail. You barely see where the nose is and all that. I mean, the eyes look great, and she does have articulated eyes, which we'll go over later, and the eyebrows and the lipstick and everything looks good, but it's just a very bland looking face, you know what I mean? The hair, definitely one of my favorite parts. It is a translucent purple plastic. We do get some very nice shading. As you can see, the black and the purple blend in beautifully on this, and it's kind of like a metallic-y type purple, and it does articulate, which we'll go over later. But we have three different pieces for the hair. So we have the hair on the top, this chunk right here, and then we have a tiny piece on the bottom right there. But the sculpt of it and everything looks dope too, so really awesome job on the hair. And I like how one side of her hair does cover the one eye. It looks pretty cool, like certain poses you put her in. And her hair does make her a tad bit back heavy. It's not really bad, but there is a little bit of weight there. You do have to balance her out so she doesn't tip backwards. Now the torso here, the blue paint I really love a lot. That's probably my favorite paint that they use for the figure. It kind of has a metallic-y type look to it. We get some very nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout the torso there. You can even see where her belly button is and everything. And the paint is alright where it meets the skin tone up around the shoulders right there. It's a little fuzzy, the line work, but I mean, everything else looks pretty good on it, around the crotch area, around her butt, on the back looks good. Get some more sculpted wrinkles. We do have a peg hole for the stand. So I think the blue turned out good, and it is sculpted on there. You can see where the line is right there, and it looks like they missed the line a little bit by her butt. Where the line separates the blue and the skin tone there. The arms look good. We get some nice paintwork also with the blue, as you can see where it meets the skin tone. Clean paintwork on that. We get some sculpted wrinkles on the arms. One issue with my left arm, I don't know what the hell this is. Something went wrong with the paint right there. It looks really ugly. I don't know what the hell that's all about. And the elbow joints blend in pretty good. Same with the shoulders. The shoulder joints on their female figures, the shoulder joints look good. On the male figures, it doesn't look as good. Then we do get her like little sash here with some beautiful sculpted wrinkles all throughout it. Just very nice looking. This is a separate piece that you do have to peg on. We'll go over that shortly. There is no shading or anything on it, but I think it looks pretty good. I like the way it looks like up around here. You could tell it's like wrapped around her twice. Really cool looking. Another thing you have to worry about, I forgot to mention with the hair can rub up on the paint and it rubs the paint off, so be careful when you articulate her hair and head around. Make sure it doesn't rub on the back of her because it will take some of the paint off. Now for the legs here, once again, very nice paintwork where the blue meets the skin tone. The skin tone on the mid thigh, like where the joint is right here, from there down to the knee, it's a little bit of a different color compared to the skin tone up around the hips right there. I mean, it's not like really obvious, but it is something you notice if you look close at it. Some people might not like that, but I love the way the blue straps look around the thighs. The paint's pretty clean on it. It's not perfect in some areas, like over here a little bit of blue paint bleeding, or like some of the line work's a bit fuzzy, you know what I mean? But other than that, everything else looks pretty good on it. I hate the way they did the knees, like how they sculpted that, and then down over here. I don't like the way that looks. I know some people won't. It might not bother some people, but you get some really great articulation with her. We do get some sculpted wrinkles on the lower legs right there for her boots, and then the feet. She has very tiny feet. You'd even see like the little notch in between her big toe and the rest of her toes there, and then the bottom. Not much going on, but overall I think Revoltech did a fantastic job with the detail on this figure. Like I said in the beginning, Revoltech figures are definitely not for everybody. So some people are going to hate the way this looks, and some people are going to love the way this looks. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, we get a ton of awesomeness included with this PSYLOCKE. So first and foremost, we do get a Revoltech stand, and it's the same one that we got with the Batman figure, how it has a bunch of different peg holes in the base. Then we do get the arm here, and then we do have the clamp. It does have the basic stand articulation. You can take the clamp out, and then you could just use the peg, since PSYLOCKE does have a peg hole on her back. So we do get that, and then we do get two interchangeable faces. And starting on the left there, we do get the basic stern looking face, which does come on the figure out of the packaging and is my favorite out of both of them. And then on the right, we do get the like smiling type face, and her eyes are closed a little bit more compared to the eyes on the left face. And talking about the eyes, we do have articulated eyes. As you can see, we do get the little tool right here. So when you want to articulate the eyes, just like Magneto, you flip the head around, and then you do see the little holes. You take the sharp end and you put it right in the hole. That's what she said. And then you move it all around, and you can articulate the eyes whichever way you would like. And it is definitely cool to get articulated eyes, because then it gives you more facial expressions with a figure. And it's also real easy to swap the faces. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. And the way you swap out PSYLOCKE's faces is fairly simple. Now it is pegged into the top of her head, so when you want to take the face off, try to grab with your thumb on her chin and then kind of pull down on her nose, and the face should pop right out. As you can see, the peg on the top of the head, and the peg hole is right inside there. And when you want to get the new face on, you gotta find the peg and just push up on it. It's pretty simple to do it. It might look difficult, but it really isn't that difficult at all. So we do get that stuff. And then we also get her sash. Now we do have the sash that is already around the figure, but this one here does peg in to the back, and it is on a Revoltech joint. And the way you get it on, you peg it into this one. This is for her sheath. So you would just peg that in like so, and then there you go, as simple as that. So we do get the sash, and then we do get a bunch of her weapons. So we do get her side weapons, a pair of those. We do get two sheaths, one with the sword handle in it, one without. And then we do get two regular swords, and then we do get two Psy swords. So we do get the two Psy effects, or the Psy blades here, and I think Revoltech did a very nice job with these. The sculpt of them look pretty cool. It's a very nice pink translucent plastic, and from the middle to the very end they painted it like a little bit of a darker pink there, and it does look really nice. And we do have a peg right here, and her fists do have peg holes, but the peg holes were way too tiny, and I couldn't get the peg in the peg holes, and I ended up breaking it, so I had to glue it back on, and I did have to widen the holes that are on the fists for these, and now she can grip onto them. So be very careful with yours. I don't know if you're going to have to widen the hole as well, and I'll show you how to get those on in a second. And the way you get her to grip onto her side effects or side blades, you need the fist hand. As you can see, the peg hole on the top of the hand right there, and the way I get it on, I kind of angle it like this, slide the peg right in the peg hole, and then there you go, as simple as that. And it looks really awesome once you have her with her side effects, but if it's not going in the peg hole, you might have to widen the hole a little bit, so just be cautious of that. And so we do get those. Then we do get the two sheaths here. So we do have the one with the sword handle in it, and then the one without the sword handle in it. And the sword handle turned out really nice right there. I really dig the sculpt and paint on that. And then the sheath here is just a glossy black with a tiny bit of sculpt work at the end right there. And the way you get this on PSYLOCKE's sash here, so as I just showed you the sash, you do peg it on. Then we do have the loop right here, which is just pegged in with a ball peg, and you can articulate it around, which I'll show you in a second. So I would say unpeg the little loop, and then take the sheath here, slide that in like so, and then just peg this back on. And what's cool is you can articulate the sheath on the sash here, so you can swivel it, pivot, and move it up and down. So I do like that they did put that on a tiny ball peg, and it does look cool once you have it on the figure right there. So we do get the two sheaths, and then we do get the two regular swords, and they are the same exact swords. I love the silver paint that they used for the blade. That looks really nice. It is a little sharp, so be careful of that. And I love the way the crossguard looks, and the handle as well. Very cool looking swords. So we do get a pair of those. And then we do get a pair of the side swords, which is definitely my favorite accessory. I love the way the side blade looks. It's just like the side effects. It's more of like a purple translucent plastic from the handle to the middle than from the middle to the end. It's more of like a pink translucent plastic, and it looks really nice. It's more translucent looking around this part, and the handle turned out really good too. So we do get all of her dope weapons, and then we finally get 8 alternate hands. And starting on the top right here, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging, and these are the hands that do have the peg holes in them, as you saw before, which are meant for the side effects or those side blades. And then next we do get a pair of gripping hands, which are meant for all the swords, and I do like that they molded the gripping hands on an angle, so she holds the swords on an angle. Then we do get these semi-gripping or open type hands here, and you can have her grip onto the sword handle that's molded into the sheath or something like that. And then finally we do get these open hands, and we get some very nice sculpt detail throughout all 8 hands, and we do get that nice metallic navy blue paint. But anyway, that is all the awesome accessories included with PSYLOCKE. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of Betsy, to the very top of her head, it looks like she's like 5.5 inches tall. Then to the very top of her hair, it looks like she's 5 inches and 3/4 of an inch tall. And then here she is compared to the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Venom, the Amazing Yamaguchi Magneto, the Marvel Legends Sabretooth, and the Mezco 112 Old Man Logan. And I think she scales really well with the other Amazing Yamaguchi figures. And then here she is compared to the SH Figure Arts Infinity War Black Widow, the Justice League Wonder Woman, the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, and the DC Collectibles Icons Harley Quinn. And then here she is compared to the Storm Collectibles Smoke, the SH Figure Arts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mephix Tactical Suit Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here she is compared to the SH Figure Arts Awakened Warrior Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and this is definitely the high point to these Amazing Yamaguchi figures. So her hair is articulated. The really big piece, it can only move up and down, but you have to it's kind of weird how it works. Like her head moves up and down, and then her hair does as well. So I guess it depends. There you go. You see how the hair moves, or you could move it with the head. So it's kind of like it's connected. I mean, the upper neck joint is pretty much this and her hair. You know what I mean? You do get a little bit of pivot at the head, and then it does swivel as well. The lower neck joint goes forward a lot, so then with both joints you get some really nice looking down movement, and then both joints you can get her to look up pretty much all the way. The lower neck pivots a little bit, and then it does swivel as well. So we do get some pretty good movement at both the neck joints along with the hair there. I thought the hair would like move all around, but it only hinges up and down. Now for the torso here, we do have a joint right under those PSYLOCKE boobies there, and you can get her to crunch forward pretty good amount with that joint, and then she does go back a tiny bit. Do get very nice pivot there, and then it does swivel as well. And I do like that they are using ball pegs and not the ratchety Revoltech joints. Then the waist here goes forward and back a pretty good amount, so you can get her to crunch forward pretty damn good, and then going back, she doesn't go back as good as going forward. You do get a little bit of pivot at the waist, and then it really doesn't swivel too much at the waist. That's the one issue I have with the torso and the waist. You don't get too much swivel out of either joint. Now for the arms here, you don't get like a circular motion. It is like a Revoltech joint, as you can see right there, but then where it connects into the arm, it's connected to a ball peg, so you can move that all around, but it looks really weird once you do that. Once you have it like that, it looks great, but I do like how they put it on a ball peg, because you can get swivel out of it. You can move it all types of ways. You can get some nice movement out of the arms. They do go out to the sides, then they do go up and down. The swivel is right there where it connects to the shoulder, and then we do get single jointed elbows that bend in a little more than 90 degrees. Then they do swivel where they connect to either side of the arm right there. Then we do have a ball hinge on the wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. So odd shoulder movement, but pretty good articulation. The sash is on a ball peg, so it can swivel on both sides, and it can hinge back and forth. Now for the legs here, where the hips connect to the torso, they are connected with ball pegs, and then we do have a thigh cut joint, which is also a ball peg, so you can get PSYLOCKE to kick forward a really good amount, a little more than 90 degrees. It goes up a little further on this side because the sash does hinder it a tiny bit on the right leg. You can get her to kick backwards about 45 degrees, then she can definitely Jean-Claude Van Damme it, which she should, because she is a martial artist. Then we do get that thigh cut here. Like I said, it is on a ball peg, so you can move it all around, swivel it up and down, pivot and all that, and that goes for both legs right there. Then we do have single jointed knees, but then where it connects into the lower leg, like what they do with their male figures with the elbow joints, it's connected with a ball peg, so they can go all the way back to knee joints, so that is definitely awesome. Then where it connects into the lower leg, you can move it all around, pivot up and down, and swivel. So I like what they did with her knee joints. Now for the ankles here, they do swivel. They hinge up a really good amount, hinge all the way down, and then you get 90-degree bend ankle pivot, which is awesome. Then we do have a bit of a toe hinge right there. So overall, Revoltech, like usual, nailed it with the articulation. You could get PSYLOCKE into any type of PSYLOCKE like poses, and I'm about to show you some of those right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi PSYLOCKE. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure between a 1 through 10, I'd have to give it an 8.5. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did have mine imported from Japan from our friends at Ami, but my buddy from Agelessgeeks will be getting this in stock this week, so you can head over to Agelessgeeks.com to check and see if it is on the website. If not, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. comic book stylized artwork. So, blah, blah, blah. Damn. Does say figure complex Amazing Yamaguchi powered by Revoltech. Then we do get. So we do get the one right there on the front of the box. On the top, does say figure complex Amazing Yamaguchi powered by Revoltech. Then we. And for people like myself, you're. So now for the articulation, and this is definitely the high point to the peg holes as I showed you before, and which do come on the figure out of the packaging, and these are the. And then there you go, as simple as that, and I just broke my figure by accident, and I do have to glue that back on.